What's going on, guys? Back with another episode of Nolan's Pod, episode 3. Today I'm talking with you guys about Major League Baseball finishing up their 162 game season and what to expect in these MLB playoffs. First, we're going to start with the seedings. You have the 6th seed Toronto Blue Jays playing the 3 seed Minnesota Twins. I think that series is interesting because the Twins have really good pitching staff. And the Toronto Blue Jays, they have a really good hitting, but they were hot and cold during the season at times. So it's either hit or miss with the Toronto Blue Jays. The Twins have their pitching. They have Pablo Lopez, Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan, who will probably be gone game 1, game 2, and game 3 if necessary. I think that series will go all 3 games personally because something's got to give. Either the Twins' good pitching is going to come through, or either the hot and cold Toronto Blue Jays' offense is going to come through. Something's got to give in that series. One thing I like is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You know he could turn it on at any time. You know Bo Bichette could get it going. We know Matt Chapman and his Gold Glove defense. We know about Kevin Kiermaier and his Gold Glove defense. We know about George Springer in the past with the Houston Astros. He can get it going at any time when the playoffs start. He starts up. So something's got to give in that series. Usually when the Twins make the wild card, they don't really do so hot in the playoffs. So I'm not really expecting much from them. Some of their main guys are hurt, like Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis. Their guys are hurt. They're supposed to come back and play today, actually, but they're probably still going to be playing hurt, so that's a cause for concern. But I expect that series will be a good series and it might go the distance to all 3 games. Moving on to the number 4 seed Tampa Bay Rays playing against the number 5 seed Texas Rangers. I think that series is also interesting and it can go 3 games. The Rays have a really good young core and pitching staff, starting with Tyler Glasnow, and then the Rangers' offense was kind of like the Braves. Their offense was historic. They do a lot of hitting, homers, and just doing the little things to get the job done. I think that the Rangers will take the series. They have a lot of guys on offense that can hit, like Nathaniel Lowe, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Jonah Heim. Those guys can hit, but a lot of those guys on the Rangers team are young, so they haven't had that playoff experience. So it would be interesting to see how they come through with those pressure at bats. I think that series can also go the distance with the 3 games, like I said. But something's got to give. Either the Rays are going to come through. We know what Randy Arozarena can do when October starts. He flips the switch and turns it on. So it'll be fun watching him play in this postseason. The winner of the Blue Jays Twins series will play the Houston Astros. Now I have to say, if the Twins go on to beat the Blue Jays, I don't think that the Twins would beat the Astros should they move on. The Astros have a lot of experience and they are built for October, which we've seen. They went to the World Series 3 of the last 4 years. I think that if the Blue Jays match up against Houston, they will be a little more bit better matchup for Houston. They're going to have to go toe-to-toe with them. We know that the Houston Astros, with their cheating scandal that they pulled back in 2017, wasn't good. I think that with that being said, I think that we have to move on from that. You know, I'm kind of still mad about that because they weren't supposed to win that World Series. And first of all, they were a good team. So when you're a good team, you don't have to cheat if you're a good team. If you're a bad at rebuilding team like the Oakland A's and you do, or like the Chicago White Sox, and you cheat because you're a bad team and you're rebuilding, then I can see that. But the Houston Astros had their core guys and had everybody, and they still cheated. They played the Dodgers in that year, won the World Series. They beat the Yankees to get to the World Series. So if the Dodgers and the Yankees feel some type of way about that still, I totally understand that. I totally understand that. The Astros still have their core guys with them: Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Martin Maldonado. And then they have that pitching staff. But the Houston Astros pitching staff has not been the same this season. They've been more down than they've been up. So, but like I said, it's October. Anything can happen. We know what the Astros do in October. I hope personally that they don't win, but shall they win will remain to be seen. The winner of the Rangers series will play the Baltimore Orioles. Whoever plays the Baltimore Orioles, which I hope that the Rangers beat the Rays, shall they play Baltimore. Baltimore, they did good. They won 100 games this year. They won the AL East, first in their division. But when it comes to the playoffs, they're young. They have inexperienced guys. I don't know how that will hold up in the playoffs because those guys have not been through the playoffs before. The regular season and the playoffs in any sport that you do, it's a whole different ball game. If you haven't experienced before, it's hard. It's different. It's a whole different atmosphere. So we'll be able to see if they get rattled or not, or do they surprise a lot of people. I don't really expect much of the Baltimore Orioles in the playoffs. I really don't, because they have all the youthful exuberance, but they've never been in the pressure situation before in the playoffs. Moving on to the National League side of things, you have the Arizona Diamondbacks, the 6th seed, playing the number 3 seed Milwaukee Brewers. Arizona took advantage of the new league rules this year with the pitch clock. They took full advantage of that. They ran a lot more this year, stole bases, did the little things like still bunting. We know that none of these teams really bunt no more because all these teams are trying to hit for power and hit it over the wall. Arizona did the small things. So the Brewers have good pitching. They have a good pitching staff. I think that they will shut Arizona down. And much like the Baltimore Orioles, the Diamondbacks are a young team. They haven't been there before. They have good players like Christian Walker, Ketel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Alec Thomas, Corbin Carroll. The Diamondbacks have good players. They don't have the playoff experience like the Milwaukee Brewers do. The Brewers have a good pitching staff to shut down Arizona, in my opinion. Shall the Brewers move on? Shall the Diamondbacks move on? Whoever moves on plays the LA Dodgers. I think that if the Diamondbacks play the Dodgers, the series is over before it even starts. The Dodgers will wash the Diamondbacks away. I think if the Brewers move on and play the Dodgers, the Brewers are better suited to play the Dodgers because the Brewers' pitching is phenomenal, and the Dodgers are really leaning on their young pitching staff because their starting pitchers have been hurt this year. So the Dodgers are leaning on young pitchers that haven't been experienced to kind of lead the way. I don't think that's going to hold up. So that's why I think that the Brewers, with their experience, will hold up against the Dodgers' young pitching. The Dodgers' offense, we know they have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Jason Hayward. They have all those guys. But I don't think that the Dodgers pitching will be able to get it done with those young guys. Moving on to the number 5 seed, Miami Marlins gets the number 4 seed, Phillies. Nobody's really expecting anything from the Marlins, but look, the Marlins are in the playoffs. They surprised a lot of people. So if they upset the Phillies, I would be happy because the winner of that Phillies-Marlins series goes on to play my Atlanta Braves. I would much rather play the Marlins than the Phillies. We know what the Phillies can do with those guys: Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Brandon Marsh, JT Realmuto, Alec Bohm. We know what those guys can do. So I much rather play the surprising Miami Marlins. the Braves will match up well against either the Phillies or the Marlins. We know what the Braves did this year. Their offense was historic. They tied the major league record for home runs with the Minnesota Twins with 307. So we know what the Braves can do. It is a lot of pressure on Atlanta. I think Atlanta will be able to get it done. You still have on the pitching side of things Max Fried, Spencer Strider, Charlie Morton, Kyle Wright. So we know what the Braves are capable of doing. The question will be, will they do it? Give me some feedback on what you think, who your World Series predictions and teams are. Let me know in the comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That's all I have for you guys today, and thank you.